Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching WION Wings. Take a look at what we have coming up on the show today. We've come to Old Delhi to sample some of the best delicacies in the area, as Ramadan is about to finish before Eid. Let's get started. As the sun sets over Jama Masjid, people congregate as the Islamic month of Ramadan is about to end. I find Qureshi's kebab corner bustling with activity. This old kebab restaurant pushes out mutton kebabs by the hundreds daily. Now that Ramadan is ending, it seems much busier than usual. Sometimes the owner, Irshad Qureshi, even allows visitors to try kebab flipping with him. What a hit! He waves me in to give it a go, and it's clear that this is more challenging work than expected. We're cooking up a feast. I find 3 foreign chefs who have been in India for many years, and this is a place they keep coming back to. So I'm here with Roya, who's trying the food at Qureshi's Kebab Corner. How did you find the food?
Oh, I love this food, and day and night I dream about Qureshi. I crave and just every night I think about Qureshi. I love to eat the kebab up here.
I order a large plate of Qureshi's mutton kebabs and enter one of the large rooms at the back with room for sitting down. Time to try Qureshi's Kebab Corner. Pretty full in here right now. See if I can get a table. This place is packed, and I am sure the Ramadan ending means this area sees peak activity during this week. I'm served a large platter of kebabs, romali rotis, red onions, and mint sauce that comes right after. Wow. I quickly finish the massive plate full of grilled mutton meat. During Ramadan, Muslims observe a period of self-discipline wherein they abstain from consuming food and liquids, engaging in sexual activity and immoral actions between sunrise and sunset. As a result, Jama Masjid becomes crowded at sunset, and families gather and break their fast together. In addition, crowds gather for food and shopping in the streets nearby, and the lanes come alive at night. I am so full after having all those kebabs in Qureshi's, but I'm going to try a dessert as well. And I'm going for Shahi Tukta with ice cream, which is quite a legendary thing to have here in Old Delhi. And there's a place for it right here. Shahi Tukra is a popular dessert in the Indian subcontinent that originated during the Mughal era. It is a rich and indulgent dish with bread, milk, sugar and spices, and topped with nuts. That is so tasty. I can't imagine what it's like to have this if you've been out all day, going around all day without eating anything, and you're breaking your fast by having these kind of meals. It's such an experience. The iftar, or breaking of the fast, usually begins with eating 3 dates. Shops and stalls all over the neighborhood sell dates of different kinds. This man claims he's served this watermelon drink for 20 years, and the demand seems endless. A perfect drink after a long day. So refreshing. With a belly full of food, it's time to head home and let the hustle and bustle of Old Delhi carry on without me. From one celebration in India to a very different one in Thailand. Last week was Thai New Year, and the streets of Bangkok were packed with revelers soaking each other in the world's biggest water fight.
Bangkok reveled in the first post-pandemic Songkran festival. After a 3-year pandemic-imposed hiatus, water pistols, horse pipes and smiles are abundant on Bangkok streets as the city celebrates the Thai New Year festival Songkran. The 3-day celebrations include respecting elders and sprinkling water over the many Buddha statues in the country. The festival is also a chance for younger Thais and foreigners to celebrate the New Year with a splash. Tens of thousands of residents, including hordes of foreign tourists armed with water guns, descended on the streets of Bangkok last Thursday for the most significant traditional New Year gathering. Songkran is a much-loved Thai festival that is sometimes described as the largest water fight in the world. It had been muted or barred entirely for the past few years, mainly because of COVID-19 restrictions. In Thailand, tourism is helping revive Southeast Asia's second-largest economy, and these revelers contribute a lot to the local economy. Many people celebrating Songkran often get soaked to the skin while walking through a half-kilometer-long stretch in Bangkok's tourist hub of Khao San Road, indiscriminately firing water guns and dancing to music blaring from curbside establishments.
It's really cool. I love the vibes. People are very welcoming, smiling, and it's a very good environment. I really like it. It's well organized. I appreciate it.
We are coming for Songkran actually because this is our first time. So we're very happy. We'll come next year again.
Dynamic and bustling Bangkok saw a huge water fight at nearly 200 official sites. Smaller bouts of liquid-based clashes broke out in neighborhoods across the entire city. Foreigners and residents welcomed a return to normality after years of strict COVID measures. Thai revelers were hopeful the festival's revival would boost the country's economy, which the pandemic had battered.
This festival with the water shooting, it's really unique in all the world. And wow, my kids might love it. I tried to go home and I say, no, we're going to stay. So really, really good. Fantastic, great culture from the Thai people.
The Songkran celebrations lasted 3 days, allowing younger Thais and foreigners to indulge in a little booze-fueled celebrations. However, the city governor urged citizens to wear colorful shirts and respect traditional Songkran activities in a family-friendly and alcohol-free way. However, it only took until midday when the floral shirts on Khao San Road were fully drenched. The beers had been cracked open and the music blasted as Thais and foreigners soaked each other with brightly colored water guns. The party was in full swing at either end of the street, with stalls selling water pistols, protective plastic phone covers and water refills making a brisk trade, with the vendors and their children soaking merry customers as they were passing by. The holiday falls at the hottest time of the year in Thailand, with temperatures regularly nudging 40 degrees Celsius. So many welcome the spraying of cooling water, but for many others, the no-holds-barred partying means it's a time to stay indoors and wait it out.
From the streets of Bangkok now to one of its famous island destinations. The scenic Maya Bay had been closed for visitors for years due to wildlife preservation. Now the area has been open for over a year, and tourists and sharks jostle for space. For many tourists, a visit to the scenic Maya Bay is one of the highlights of visiting the Phi Phi Islands in Thailand, and it's easy to see why. With massive cliffs surrounding a white sand beach and calm Sion waters, this spot is as scenic as it gets. But since 2018, authorities closed the beach due to overcrowding. Then, the COVID pandemic kept both tourists and operators away as well. With no visitors, This pristine spot in nature recuperated, and damaged coral was revived. Marine life thrived, and black-tip reef sharks reclaimed the bay's shallow waters in decent numbers. Now that COVID-19 is a thing of the past, tourism operators are keen to take visitors back to this pristine spot. Still, the area now faces a delicate balance between allowing more tourists and preserving the reef sharks, since the bay was opened up again in 2022. To understand more about the population of blacktip reef sharks in Maya Bay, the conservation group Maya Shark Watch started a pilot study at the end of 2021.
We have counted the highest amount of blacktip reef shark, which is 161 shark at a given time, and that is in November 2021. And after it was reopened for a year, in November 2022, we have come back to try and use the same drone technique to count the number of shark, and we have an average number of around 20 to 40 sharks per day. So we have seen a decrease in the abundance.
Reef sharks are essential for the ecosystem, as they help to maintain balance in the coral reef ecosystem. The top predator eats other sick and unwell animals and thus keeps the population healthy. With underwater cameras and drones for aerial surveillance, the team visits the bay monthly and spends 6 days collecting data. Maya Bay is a crucial nursery for blacktip reef sharks, as the shallow waters protect small sharks from falling prey to adult sharks.
We think that the reopening will definitely affect them in a way, but we are hoping that with the restriction in place, we can mitigate the disturbance on them, and we are doing this research in hopes that we can find the best way to manage and the best way for tourism and the environment to coexist.
To ensure that the opening of the bay doesn't undo the progress that had been made since 2018, Maya Bay was opened based on advice from conservation experts. Now, boats bringing visitors have to dock on another side of the island and walk across the island on wooden walkways. Only 375 visitors are allowed per hour. For the tourists who visit Maya Bay, getting a picture clicked with the scenic cliffs in the background is a must. Yet, staying away from water deeper than the knees is critical.
Yeah, I was thinking about that just because, they have to save it. If we would let people go, we will destroy it definitely. So I really appreciate the way that they close the beach for the swimming, probably just because to save the nature.
For staff at the national park, allowing tourists to see sharks in their natural habitat is unique. Maintaining the balance is vital to nurturing the ecological balance where wildlife can thrive.
If you can create and come up with the new image of Maya Bay as a nature reserve, as a strict nature reserve for shark, I think that it's actually going to bring new tourism scheme as well, and we're going to benefit from that overall. So we don't talk about closing everywhere or reducing the tourism number, but I think we're talking about managing it wisely.
For visitors coming to the southwestern part of Thailand, including this unique destination on the itinerary is a rewarding highlight and provides a chance to encounter wild sharks in their natural habitat. Protecting this fantastic place is in everyone's interest.
Paris has been a favorite tourist destination for years, but with the protests and demonstrations that often turn violent, could tourists fall out of love with the City of Light?
France is one of Europe's most visited countries and is typically included on an itinerary to Western Europe. But in recent months, the country has been rocked by protests against Emmanuel Macron's pension reforms. These protests even turn violent, with fires set and damage is done to public property. Even public service workers have participated in the protests, and strikes for garbage workers left piles of garbage in the streets. For staff at some luxury hotels, calls were coming in from concerned visitors.
Yes, we have a couple of calls, and people just want to be secure and be safe when they come to Paris, right? So when they call us, we say that there is nothing really special. You know, life is still going on in Paris. People are very happy, but I just think that they want to be, secure on their stay, right?
For those visiting the city in the past month, there have been disruptions to some of the favorite activities and tourism sites. Even the Louvre was on a surprise strike, preventing tourists from seeing Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. The tourists who had made the trip to the iconic metropolis had mixed reactions to the situation.
We kept getting sent TikToks, the protests and things, and we were a little bit nervous, but everything we read said that we should be okay, and we haven't felt anything but safe, I don't think, since we've been here.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah, it's been good. We were very relieved.
Yeah.
We didn't want to have to cancel it.
I was not worried because I actually wasn't aware that there was a national strike in France. So I only found out about it after I came here.
The international tourist arrivals are expected to increase by over 60% compared to last year. Even with the current turbulence, the numbers are already promising.
So the season started way earlier than usual. Usually around this time of year, we don't get as many tours and our tours aren't as full. So now I've been doing 2 tours a day every day with like 12 to 13 people every day, which is something we, even before COVID, didn't do much of.
As the protests continue, with people banging pots and pans, Macron, who has now signed the controversial pension reform bill into law, has given himself 100 days to heal the country. Some hoteliers still have a positive outlook for the year ahead, as tourists don't seem bothered, but even arriving in more numbers. For those visiting, check with your hotel what happens on the ground and keep up to date with the latest news.
We are in Old Delhi for food at the moment, but if you're traveling from Delhi to Meerut, there's an interesting new restaurant that has just opened up along the highway that will surely be a hit for those interested in aviation. Take a look. This airplane restaurant is located on the Delhi-Meerut Expressway and only just opened on the 3rd of April this year. We're here to try out the food at this pure vegetarian restaurant with a proper airplane theme. Let's get started. So I'm at the Hawaii restaurant and I'm going to go and pick up my ticket to go on the aircraft. Let's go. The pass to board the Hawaii aeroplane restaurant costs 200 rupees. According to Manish Sharma, the manager here, it is a clever way to let people on board. All right, got my boarding pass.
It's not an exactly ticket, it's a boarding pass for 200 rupees per person. But at the same time, we will adjust this food, that amount in your food bill.
Wow, look at this place.
The idea for the restaurant was to give people who cannot afford to board a real airplane the opportunity to try a meal on a plane by the expressway.
Everyone wants to sit in a plane, but they can't afford. So that's why we did it this plan. I mean, you can have the food, delicious food, mouth-watering food, and have a feel of the plane as well.
Trying the food here, I ordered palak paneer with naan bread and paneer hariyali tikka, and let me tell you, the food was excellent. The Hawaii airplane restaurant offers what must be one of the cheapest business class tickets in the world, which also allows you to have pure vegetarian food from a large menu. The other restaurant patrons are also impressed, but still with mixed reactions.
This is the first time that I will get momos in a flight.
It is my opinion, it's a good place.
Food is very good quality.
This is not the first restaurant in the owner's chain, but I'm curious about what the owners say about this particular project.
We have set up the restaurant along the Delhi-Meerut Expressway. Our menu includes various cuisines like South Indian and Italian. We also have unique dishes on the menu, and our customers find these interesting. There is also a gaming zone here for kids.
As the day turns into night, the restaurant gets more crowded as people turn up for dinner, and it seems as if this new business venture will really take off.
Next up on the show are the latest updates from the world of aviation, travel, and hospitality. Take a look at our news deck.
Boeing has announced that it has stopped delivering some of its 737 MAXs due to a new supplier quality issue at Spirit AeroSystems, which could go back as far as 2019. The company said this new problem could affect a significant number of undelivered 737 MAX aircraft in production or storage, resulting in a possible decrease in deliveries soon. The issue concerns the installation of two fittings made by Spirit that join the aft fuselage to the vertical tail of specific versions of the 737 MAX family, including the MAX 7, MAX 8 and MAX 8200 airplanes, as well as the P-8 Poseidon maritime surveillance aircraft based on the 737NG. According to Boeing, this is not a safety of flight issue, and in-service planes can continue to operate. The FAA has validated Boeing's assessment that there is no immediate safety issue. The agency will evaluate all affected aircraft before delivery. London City Airport has become the first airport in the UK capital to abandon the 100 milliliter liquid limit rule, thanks to new high-tech scanners that allow passengers to carry up to 2 liters of liquid. Passengers will no longer have to put their toiletries in a separate bag or rummage through their bags to find them, and laptops and other electronics can be left in their hand luggage. The new scanners are set to be installed at all UK airports by June 2024, which will help to reduce security queues, as passengers will no longer have to take multiple items out of their bags. London City Airport is the busiest UK airport to have introduced the technology so far, following smaller operator Teesside earlier this year. The 100 milliliter liquid rule was introduced in 2006 after a foiled terrorist attack plot involving liquid explosives at Heathrow. Other airports worldwide, including a handful in the US and Amsterdam's Schiphol hub, have installed high-tech scanners, while Heathrow has trialed them. Last Friday, travel across Italy was disrupted due to a national train strike lasting for 8 hours. The primary Italian trade unions organized the strikes to express their disapproval of low wages. Inadequate work safety, insufficient investments, and the lack of new hires. Many people waited for hours at Termini, Rome's biggest station, hoping that trains would still run. We received an email saying our ticket was cancelled, so we rushed to get another one yesterday, and now even this one is delayed, complained one Italian traveler. Despite the strike, Trenitalia, the primary company responsible for Italy's rail traffic, confirmed that some trains would still be in service to ensure that passengers could continue to travel.
That's all we have for you on the show this week. But don't forget to check in to WION Wings next week for the latest news and updates from the world of aviation, travel, and hospitality. Until then, fly safe.